you all love technology, technical difficulty. Sorry about that. But yesterday was the last day of summer, and I know that you
I have to interrupt you.
Okay.
It's the first day of summer.
I mean, the first day of summer.
We're getting
the
into
last
the last day of school.
The last day of school. I'm thinking the last day of
getting
school.
There. We're
almost there. The first day of summer, last day of school. And I know that a lot of you think that you don't need to worry about packing those school lunches anymore, but we need to start thinking about summer snacking. I'm going up to the cottage this weekend, and I know that my kid has sugar addiction, and I never know what snacks to pack. So I'm so excited to have Lianne Phillipson here, that is a registered nutritionist and author of Sprout Right, to give tips for me and my family and for all of you. And please write in your questions and ask, because we have an expert here. And feel free to share and show your emojis and love hearts.
Excellent. Yes, so please do put in your questions, and we'll get to those towards the end. And different things kind of come up every time, but during this Facebook Live, I'm going to share my top tips. I'm going to share some great new products that I'm using with my kids, and then also things that I've found along the way. So let's first start off with fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
It's a little bit yawn boring for some people. However, it's a staple, and I talk about this all the time.
And it's important for the kids to grow.
It's so important. So as soon as they say, I need a snack, your go-to needs to be a colorful fruit or vegetable. So here we've got some lovely blueberries, strawberries are in season, colorful peppers. Sometimes my daughter will just take a pepper and she'll eat it like it's an apple.
My daughter also. And you know what? It reminds me of the rainbow plate that they have at camp.
Yeah.
You know, they teach the kids about all the different fruits and vegetables. And I know that sometimes seeing all the different colors excites the kids to start eating it.
It is such an important thing to do. And also just really also getting them to think about packing snacks. So the fact that we need to go out with something with us. I went and had played a round of golf with a great friend the other day, and she was laughing at me because I was packing my water bottle, I was packing my bars, and all of those kind of things. And
mom mode. We're always in mom mode, right?
But it's more that I don't want to get caught out somewhere.
And not
I'm
have
going to be hungry. I'm going to
car.
be crabby, and I want to go and enjoy myself. If I get a bit peckish, then I'll have a little something. Especially because golf is not a huge active sport, but still, I didn't. I was like, right, I'm going to go.
Right.
But she was laughing at me. But it's really important that we all think about that. So whether you're going out with your kids or whether you're going out with yourself, these are some good tips for you to take with you. Okay, so I've got some lovely carrots here. This is just a man's vegetable pack that you can get, which is great. Buy it and then off you go. Serve
that
it to anybody,
is amazing for the
which
cottage
is
or
great.
party.
But I also absolutely love that in this is also one of my favorites. So I kind of say I love the carrots, but just sort of move over with the carrots a little bit and bring out the sugar snap peas. Have you come across these before?
Yeah, I bought them for my kids. They love them. It's such an easy snack. They actually pull the stool up to the refrigerator. It's a little high. Everyone makes me that I have a high fridge. But they pull it up and they grab it and they put it in their bowl. They get their bowl out of the island. Yeah. And they serve themselves and they love it, and it's such an easy snack, and they sit in front of the TV, and instead of popcorn or an unhealthy snack, it's such a good thing to snack on.
So this is what I call convenience food, because it's washed, it's packaged, and what saves my sanity is that the strings are gone from these.
Right.
My kids learned early about strings and sugar snap peas, so they'd sit there and they pull them off, and then I see them on the side of the counter. They're in the back of the car, in the cups.
The worst, and it gets stuck in your teeth.
There's just bits everywhere. So the fact that they've taken these strings out, thank you, because that's saving my sanity.
They thought of everything.
I just love them. Have them with some hummus. There's a dip in here, anything, some tzatziki or anything like that. So you've got a really good balance of the vegetables in there, and that's more of a go-to. We have to teach them that this is the place to go when you're hungry, not necessarily for the chocolate or the candies or the sweets or anything like that.
And my kids, like my 3-year-old, to get her to eat veggies, because I know a lot of moms have a hard time getting their kids to eat vegetables, so she loves dipping.
Yes.
So I will put out the vegetables, and I have the little containers that are pretty, and with all the different dips, and so she gets to snack and dip, and so that's an easy way. Do you have any other tips to get your kids to eat veggies if they don't want to eat
There's a great tip I learned from my great friend Allison Schaefer a long time ago. It's the when then. Okay. So my kids are a bit older, they're 11 and 13, but still they come home from school and like, oh, can I have something, something that's still pretty healthy, but they haven't had like an after school snack or a fruit or a vegetable. So I say, when you have X, sugar snap peas, broccoli, you know, when you have something, some real food, say an apple, a banana, or something like that,
nutritious.
then you can go and have
that's what I do.
you know,
Like
go make some popcorn or do something. And not that it's an unhealthy thing, they just know that they have to try and get to 10 a day.
That's a good rule.
Right? And then over
the 10 rule.
Oh yes, 10 a day. It's actually,
so when you start doing back to school, that's going to be 10 incorporated.
10 a day and eat the rainbow. Okay, right. So also talking about eat the rainbow, smoothies.
Okay, love smoothies.
Love smoothies. This is my breakfast every single day, and my kids, who will have a variety of breakfast, will always have a glass of a smoothie, because you can get 3 or 4 fruits in here, different colors, cherries, different berries. They've even put spinach in here. When you put spinach in with the blueberries, they don't see it, and you're not feeding them a green smoothie. If they're like, as soon as they see something green, got to, you know, stay away, I'm not going to touch it. Because sometimes that happens, and then eventually you get them to make it, and you say, oh, put spinach in it, and then they say, ooh, no, I'm not doing that. You've been having that for the past year, so even though I didn't know, right? So you slowly start to teach them. So smoothies are a fantastic snack, other than I have them for breakfast. But if I've made too much, which sometimes happens, then I put them into a popsicle mold.
That's so smart.
And I freeze it. So again, this could be a when-then. They come home, I want a freezy or whatever. I don't buy those things, so I just don't even have them. But you know, go and have the popsicle that we made the other day or something like that, and then you can go and have some sort of treat or depending on it. So the popsicles are just fantastic. So I do love the smoothie as much as possible, but my kids, if it starts to separate, or if it's been in the blender or put it in a glass and it starts to separate, they don't, it's not the best travel for my kids anyway. They say, oh, it's not looking quite right or something like that. And sometimes, depending, like if I put chia seeds and flax seeds and hemp seeds in it, it goes a little bit thick, and then I don't want to eat this with a big mom. So finding something else to take with you. The other day I came across these little shakes. So here's a chocolate one, and here's a vanilla one.
Oh, those are awesome.
They're actually made with organic whole milk, which I do prefer to having. Like,
I was going to ask, do you put milk in this?
So I put almond milk in this. Sometimes I use water. Sometimes I use coconut water. You can put milk in as well. You know, it's up to you. They're your smoothies. A lot of people put in yogurt. I prefer it to be a little more watery than that. So, you know, there's lots of different things. And there's loads of different recipes on spiritbright.com too. So these little shakes are shelf stable. So they're great to put into the lunchbox. Great to have in a car or on a trip where you know that you can't get to a refrigerator, or you don't want to rely on a milk-based product that's going to stay in the lunch bag without an ice pack that's going to last the day. And still in Toronto, we're not having super great weather. On the calendar it says summer, but Mother Nature's got a little bit confused. So also in this there is vegetable powder and also 24 vitamins and minerals.
Wow,
so
that's
a little
amazing.
bit more. We're relying a little bit more rather than the natural antioxidants and things like that. So just something convenient to have for you know, to maybe feel.
That's good for the airplane also.
Yeah, well, it's a liquid. I don't know if there's 100 mils in there or not. Whether you can get it on or not, you have to double check. And then, of course, please take your fruits with you. Take a banana with you. Take an apple with you. Take a pear with you. But they get bashed up. And again, some kids, as soon as they see something on a banana, no, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to eat it. It's like it's a toxic situation just because it has a bruise on it. No, just eat around it. Have you heard of that? Like, you know, I take a bite of the apple and then I'll throw it out. There you go, you can have it back again, or if there's a bruise or something like that.
And my kid's new thing is that the apple can't be cut anymore. It has to be whole. Which is good for the peppers, because now they just love grabbing it, like you said, and just eating it.
Yeah, so, and for like an apple, let's say, I always used to put on, which we would try and put lemon juice on it so it didn't go brown. Then we started putting cinnamon. Cinnamon sprinkled on top of cut apples is genius, because it's brown, so it covers the brown, and it actually is super, super tasty. Almond butter, almond butter, or cashew butter, or hazelnut butter, if nuts are not an issue for your family, is just fantastic.
And if you put it in the oven, I do it with chia and like an oatmeal mixture, and I make
I make a crumble
with it, like with the cinnamon, and it's so
I have a fantastic recipe in my book. And also on the blog on spiritbright.com too. So, and that is a tremendous
that's a good way
snack
to
or breakfast, right? For breakfast, because really it's just
I would break it the day before, put it in the fridge, And then on the weekends when my kids have to go to their activity,
Yeah.
I just pop it in the oven while I'm getting them ready, and it's the best thing.
Yeah, there's
It's
a lot
healthy,
of lot of different things you can do because it's strawberry season and berry season and all of those kind of things. I prefer just to eat them,
Right.
but then also you can mix them in. Peach season. When peach season comes along, and I go to the farmer's market and I buy a huge thing of peaches, I have the peaches in my smoothie and then also make a peach crumble. So
I'm coming to your
all
house.
of that kind of I get that a fair bit. Okay, so kind of back to the bruised vegetables and things like that. Then Love Child have got these great, I call them squidgy packs because my kids like to squidge them, but they're the pouches, traditionally more that you're going to give to your baby. But I used to use these on airplanes with my kids because they're just easy. You don't want things that are falling all over the place, going to slop down all of their clothes and all those kind of things. If they're in the back of the car, you know that they're safe. If you hit a bump, there's no piece of apple, all of those kind of things. So there's such a huge variety. This lovely mango is hugging the apple, which I absolutely love. And then they also put quinoa in this as well. So it's got some more protein in there. It's got something that's going to keep them
yeah,
going
that's
a
what I was
little
saying.
bit longer.
It makes them
And nothing artificial. No artificial
That's amazing.
colors, flavorings, or anything like that. For me, that's something that I read the labels all the time, and that's something as soon as it has something artificial, whatever, that I'm putting.
My kids love these. My older daughter's 6. She still eats them, sometimes not, at school in front of her friends, but they all love them. They fight over them, and it's a great snack. And after going swimming, in the car, on the way to the cottage, they're amazing.
Yeah, and again, these kind of things don't replace everything that I've got over here. You don't want to replace and say, oh no, we're just going to have this. This has got your few fruits and vegetables in it. You got to make sure they're still, eating the real thing. Okay, down the end here, this is huge for lunch boxes, snacks, throw in your bag, all of those kind of things. I talk so much about granola bars all the time, and everyone's saying, is that a good one? Is that a good one? How about that one? How about that one? And I'm reading the labels. When I first came across Made Good at my local natural health food store, hadn't seen them before, and this was more than a year ago. So I picked them up and then we tried them, and I love the size of the bars. So the bar itself is actually fairly small, so even if they're having one, it's taking the edge off, it's not ruining dinner, they still can have a proper snack and then a bar or something like that, or if it's going in a lunch bag, then that's not the meal.
My daughter loves these.
Yeah, they are really good. But what I didn't realize when I first bought them was that they have a serving of vegetables in them as well. So there's a vegetable powder that they incorporate into this.
So smart.
But like me hiding my spinach in here, then there's at least something as well going in. And nobody's ever said, oh, there's a vegetable in here, Mom.
Right.
I didn't even know.
Right.
They're inhaling them.
Yeah.
And I love that they have these minis. I like these. I eat these guys in the car. So these little minis are just fantastic. I always have one of these sitting in the car.
Made Good just came out with, so besides, one of my favorite things about the Made Good products is that they're free from the 8 most common food allergens.
That's
so they're
huge.
great for camp and school and to share with other kids if you're worried that they might have an allergy. And Made Good just came out with these cranberry maple granola minis for the Canada's 150th.
Got maple in there for Canada.
Yeah, for Canada, and 2% is going to Right for Play.
Yes.
And
for
so
the Aboriginals, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and I do love that they're made in Canada.
Right.
Their newest product is their vanilla crispy squares.
Amazing.
Now, this is not something in my book. I do have a rice crisp square recipe with rice syrup and things like that in it. That's a much healthier alternative. So great if you want to make those things at home. Same thing with granola bars. But again, it's the grab and go aspect that we need to intermingle into everything. So these vanilla crispy squares that they've just brought out, they're sweet, they have that bit of crunch, and for those kids that really have to have the more traditional one in the blue package, those have 32 ingredients in them, right? I counted them up on the label. I said it was a big label reader, and I am. So 32 ingredients in that. When I read this one and counted them up, it has 18 ingredients in it,
Wow.
5 of which are vegetables.
That's amazing.
Because the vegetable powder is going into this again.
I just have to tell you guys, my kids love this. We go to the health food store, so part of my thing of getting my kids to eat healthier is I bring them with me to the grocery store, which a lot of moms do, and I involve them in it. I let them pick stuff out so that they're excited and it's what they picked.
Yeah.
This is something that my daughter gravitated towards, and the bars are amazing. It saved me at school for a little snack to throw in her bag besides the fruit and veggies. So I have to tell you that I love these products. They're amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to try the
And you don't know the difference between, you know, a traditional Rice Krispie, like it tastes almost exactly the same. Like good. I'm not gonna lie, I actually eat them sometimes too.
So also, this is the perfect when-then situation.
Right.
Even though we've still got a serving of vegetables in here, and that's all great, we also want to be teaching them they have to do the veggies too, and so pairing the two of them together are actually really important. It's a teaching moment. Even if you're saying, okay, we're going in the car, let's have something that does travel well and have this, you know, as our backup and or sort of as the add-on, or just so that they're understanding that when you're at home, this is what we do, right? So we don't, my kids don't really eat the bars and things like that at home. Like that's a great snack for when we're out and about, or let's put one in your lunch bag for camp, or all of those kind of things in my golf bag. Those kind of things.
So one of the questions that I'm sure that a lot of parents have is that, you know, it's hard for their kids to eat the veggies.
Yeah.
So do you recommend just putting it on their plate to get them to start eating it?
Yeah, for sure. So whether it is, I don't really want to eat this today, okay then. So put these two on their plate. Which one are you going to eat first? Try it, I'm not kidding. Not which one are you going to eat, which one are you going to eat first? Because then that gives them a choice within a boundary.
Right.
Okay, you can have the carrot first, or you can try the sugar snap pea first. And if you really want to, you know, kind of mess about with them, then you open the sugar snap pea and say, let's have a competition. Who has the most peas on the inside?
Well, that's
then you start to get them to eat, right? You need to kind of think
outside the box
and make it fun. Like eating can be so much fun. I go to a restaurant, I'm like, oh, what am I gonna, you know, and then it arrives and like, oh gosh, it tastes amazing. And they're not gonna quite be that savvy about their food, but oh, how many did you get this time? Look at mine. Oh, I got a really big one. And then they can eat the shells because they're sugar snap peas. They can eat the shells afterwards. Peas, right? When peas are in season, it's such good fun. No, I want that one. It's got the biggest one in it. You know,
you make it fun and don't make eating a fight. You have to make them enjoy it.
You have to have the boundary. When you're finished your carrot and this, then you can have more of whatever it is that they've inhaled off of their plate.
Right. Well, I feel so much better about getting my kids to eat fruit and veggies and all these healthy options and snacks for cottage season and summer. Since it's the first day of summer yesterday, not the last. And,
I know.
You know what? I was kind of wishing that it was the last because I'm so hot and I can't breathe. I know that Canadians are not allowed to complain, but I'm from Florida, so it's in my blood. And I want to thank you for joining us.
Should we check in on questions?
Let's see if there's any questions.
We've got one from a message from Lisa, wanting to know how to introduce new snacks.
How to introduce new snacks to them?
Variety.
So it depends on the age of your child. So as Nicole said, she takes her kids shopping. I always take my kids shopping. I think the farmer's market in the summertime is absolutely fantastic. When you go past all of the fruits and vegetables, they just, you know, and they pick up a carrot. I remember buying the multicolored carrots. So there was like a white carrot, still had all the tops on and things like that. You know, and I'm sitting there and my daughter said, oh, I want to eat it now. I'm thinking, oh, there's so much dirt on it. Okay, sure. Why don't you do that? Dust it off a little bit. And she wanted to eat it there and then, so I didn't say, oh, we have to go and wash it. I said, sure, by all means, go ahead. Doubled up on the probiotics afterwards, just in case there was something else going into her. But, you know, take those moments. Go to the market and go to the store and then say, well, let's go and have a picnic and let's go try something else. Don't take them home. Take them out of what they normally do and let's try it. My kids have always had to try something new because I've said to them, I don't give you bad food. I don't give you food that doesn't taste good. It might not be to your taste and say, no, that's not my favorite thing. Did you survive eating the red pepper? Why, yes, you did. So let's try a green one. You know, green are not my favorite peppers, so I would veer away from it. But for my kids, I will try it and I'll just say, no, it just still doesn't work for me. I'm going to stick to the red or the yellow or the orange. Those are the ones that I like better. But then my eldest, she loves green peppers, so then she'll eat the green pepper.
And sometimes kids watch what the other kid is doing. And I would just say, you could spit it out. The garbage is right here. If you don't like it, at least you tried it. And so that's a rule. It has to go in their mouth, and they have to try it. And everyone says, I can't believe your kids are such good eaters, but it's exposing them to the food and, like you said, making it fun. So just
remember that it can take up to 15 times. It took my eldest 8 years to like a pepper.
wow.
And I'm not kidding.
The taste buds keep changing.
Just didn't, for whatever reason. And she was good. She would try it. And there are certain things that she still really doesn't like. Oatmeal, for whatever reason. The one day that she made oatmeal from my Jamie Oliver cookbook, because my kids love it and I love Jamie Oliver, they made oatmeal, and then my daughter sat down with a bowl of it, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to happen. She's going to eat oatmeal. And so she tried it, and she had about 3 spoonfuls, and she said, I still really don't like it, Mom. And I think it's almost a texture thing. She's
Right, it's a texture. I was going to say it's mushy.
However, I'll still say, try out this new, roasted garlic hummus I bought the other day. Try it out. Well, let me know I don't like it. So, doesn't matter. Try it out. It's good food. I eat it. I'm still standing, or, it's fine.
Right.
So you also have to take the emotion out of it instead of saying, well, I just made you this, so you have to try it. Put the responsibility onto them.
And don't make it a fight because you want to make it.
No, but also you need to
enjoyable.
have the boundaries, because
Right.
when I do so much consulting, and I have parents that come and they say my child is picky, and I have a look at what they're eating, and there's always a different perspective on how much is picky. They eat 20 different foods, and I'm thinking that's really good. Or if they literally eat 3 different foods and none of them is a vegetable, then we're dealing with a situation. But that's also very often when parents are not holding a boundary and saying,
Right.
you have to try what's on your plate. Here is a strawberry and here is a blueberry. Which one are you going to try first?
So if you have a kid that is like that, then maybe has a limited, because it's easier when their kids will eat stuff or try stuff, but if their kid won't eat anything, what do you do to start to get kids to start eating?
You go outside of the norm. You go to the farmers markets, you go and have picnics, and you give them the responsibility.
Do you say you're not going to eat dinner tonight?
Your body,
if you won't
you know
eat
what,
it?
some kids can truthfully live on air.
Okay.
So there's a few things in a consultation.
I wish I could live on air. It would be a lot slender.
I go through, in my consultations, I'll go through and I'll look at what they're eating. I'll see where the nutrients are come from, and if they're deficient, quite often, I'll offer up the nutrients that they need to create the appetite. So there's a lot of different situations. Maybe eating actually does not make them feel great.
Right.
If there's a super power struggle with a child, then that's what I will do with a client. There's normally, if a kid is not eating, the's really truthfully normally a reason for it.
Right.
We just need to get to the bottom of that. That's where
So
the
see Lianne and go to
consultation
sproutright.com.
She looks around
Yeah.
there. Any other questions?
One more question
Great.
from Jennifer. How do you avoid over snacking, and what are some?
Good.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, we just weren't sure if we were still recording. Then I say look at 24-hour period in terms of what they're eating. Very often, snacks are a part of the day. So if your kid at 4:30 is starving and can't wait for dinner, then you give them a bunch of vegetables, and that's a part of their dinner. Okay? So it kind of just depends. If they're going and
You
eating
need to take notes on this.
if they're going and eating too many bars, or that they got into the chocolate or something like that, and then they don't want dinner, no, that's not bad. Okay, so everything goes away, goes in a box, top covered, whatever that looks like. So just kind of think outside it, and that makes it a lot less stressful for parents when it comes time to what are you eating, what are the snacks, how much are you eating, and all of those kind of things. If it's a 2-bite brownie versus carrot sticks and stuff like that, we're talking very, very different types of food.
Okay.
So yes, having a sweet or something like that before dinner or in between, or their blood sugar's crashing, so we want in the middle of the afternoon, how else want coffee or chocolate or something like that.
Pick me up.
Just
A
before,
beer. No, I'm just kidding.
like watch when they're hitting the floor, literally when they go on the floor and that's not working, and then half an hour before get a snack in. Okay. Portion control is
But make sure it's a healthy snack.
while you can just say, here, go and eat all these sugar snap peas. From a quantity standpoint, not the sugar snap peas are not great, but you want them to have some protein, some other colors, and all of those kind of things. So just put it in a bowl.
Right.
Put it in a bowl, put it on a plate. It's like people say, oh,
And
God,
what's the
just-
portion for an average kid between?
There is no average kid. It could be a whole thing of raspberries is a portion for someone.
Okay.
Another kid would put, my kids used to put the raspberries on their fingers and then sit
Right,
there, and
right.
then 5 of them, and then they're good. So it depends. You get
But
to
when
know
you
your child.
when you portion a plate out, like protein to carbs to
Oh,
my daughter
for a meal?
Yeah, for a meal, because my daughter likes to have, like yesterday she wanted like 4 pieces of bread.
Right.
And we were like, enough bread.
We have a plate over here. Okay. Oh, we've got to keep Canada plate here. So this, cut it in half, not literally, but draw an imaginary line. So all of this needs to be fruits and vegetables. This quarter here needs to be protein, and then this needs to be carbs.
Okay.
Okay, so that's more of a meal situation. If you're having a snack and you've got a dip here or some hummus or something like that, then you go and give your kid 5 carrots or 10 sugar snap peas or
And
something.
it depends on how active the kid
It
is.
really-
Also,
it really
in
does. It really does.
Summer they're very active.
One more question here.
Great,
Rachita, I hope I got that right.
thank you.
How to prevent your picky eater from throwing food?
So you give them something to throw.
Like
Okay.
a snap piece.
An alternative.
No. So you talk a lot about what do we throw? We throw balls. Do we throw food? Oh, it's not a ball. Here's a ball. Not necessarily in the high chair. Oh, I see that you want to throw a ball. I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to put it here. When you're finished, then
throw it.
you can go throw the ball. Food stays on, so you dialogue and you talk about that, and don't think that your toddler doesn't understand.
They do. I'm telling you. I always talk to my kids like
Get it.
adults. Everyone made fun of me. They understand.
Get it.
Kids understand.
So there's what we throw and what we don't throw. What happens with this? Do you throw it? No, you don't throw it. It goes in your mouth. What happens when it goes in your mouth? You chew. Right? Make it fun. Be silly about it. Those kind of
and
things.
don't get angry and
because
react.
then they're doing it. They just want the attention.
Right. And
So
then
as
the more
soon as
you
they
react
check
and
it-
you yell at them, the more they're going to start acting up.
Right. So you just
I think
keep
I have a
keep it
parenting
calm.
magazine.
Keep it calm, and then you put the ball. You're ready to throw the ball, and are we finished? Or not even ask the question. When you're finished, then we can
Right.
go throw the ball. Right now we're having food. Okay.
One last message question.
Yes.
Sugar is a pretty hot topic, I think, as far as we go
Yes.
for food. Is there, I know there's certain sugars to avoid, but are there sweeteners that are better choices?
Okay, so
Like
I talk
agave,
so
for
much
instance.
about I talk about sugar
Agave's
all
not good.
the time.
No, agave's not good. I used
not
to use
anymore.
agave.
Yeah, not anymore.
Now I use coconut milk in my coffee. Is that good?
Yep.
For all you adults out there, if you're wondering.
Coconut milk is better. Yeah, I talk about sugar all the time on radio as well because it's everywhere. 60% of packaged food in Canada contains sugar. So that was a
Added
study
sugar
that
or natural occurring sugar?
added sugar. Added sugar. So it's something to be. That's why I'm an avid label reader.
Right.
And you need to see in the ingredients where is the sugar. It can be called cane something else, which is good, a better option than just the white stuff. But can I just go back to the original question, please, because I've lost my train of thought.
That there are
How to better, are there better sugars?
Sugars,
So
yeah.
a raw
Yeah,
honey,
sugars.
especially a local one, has a lot of enzymes, has a lot of proteins. And it's a super healthy food. Maple syrup is sometimes better, but still, if you take that oatmeal rather than pouring 2 tablespoons of white sugar on it, if you go and just pour on the maple syrup, still it's a lot of sweet in one go. So whatever it is, portion it out. Get the tablespoons out or whatever if you're having honey or maple syrup. Although they're better, how the body deals with it is similar, but still staying away from the white stuff.
What about stevia?
Is our better option. Stevia is a herbal sweetener. It tastes different.
I don't like
I
I don't like the taste. That's why I used to use
have
agave, but it's not
But
good,
my
right?
kids like this, there's a like a pop kind of thing that's
Right.
sweetened with stevia if you don't mind the flavor and
Right.
the taste and things like that. So it's totally, there are alternatives out there. Agave when it first came out was great. It's incredibly high in fructose, so that's really not a great option. Coconut sugar still acts in the body the same, maybe a few more minerals. Just across the board, try and lessen the amount of sugar and sweet you're having a day. Right, and that's what happens with all the fruits and vegetables.
Maybe you could sum up some of the resources that the followers can join.
Yeah, definitely. So again, just a quick recap on what I talked about if you weren't here in the beginning, is your snacks, your primary snacks should be fruits and vegetables. Always, always, always have this. We talked about the man's stringless sugar snap peas. this is my version of a convenience food or a packaged
Instead of
food.
going to the
Because
convenience
someone's
store.
washed it for me and taken the strings out so they don't get left around the house. Always fruits and vegetables. Smoothie, pop them into a popsicle mold as well for later on. If you're out and about and really taking some fruits, fresh fruits and things like that, other than like an apple, is just your kids are not going to eat them, then you can use the Love Child pouches.
Which are
And
awesome.
also these little shakes are great for camp lunch bags and all those kind of things, or because they're shelf stable, if you're out and about, then you can take them out with you without a nice pack. Made Good have got just such a tremendous variety of really great bars, and then they call them minis, the round ones. I love those.
And they have the Canada
ones.
150
And the
ones
Canada
at 2%
150,
goes
and
to
then
Right
also
to
you
Play.
can check out the new Rice Crisp Square.
These are awesome, guys. They are small, like Lianne touched upon.
Yeah.
And they're great for camp snacks and for the cottage.
Yeah.
And my kids absolutely love them. And they have a portion of vegetables in
And
them.
them as well.
So that's
a serving of veggies.
right.
in
So
there
if
too.
they're not going to eat the veggies, if they're really that picky eater,
No, you have to
then-
work on it. Don't
I
rely
know.
on the bar.
don't worry about it. See, that's why we have
I'm
Lianne
cracking
here.
the
So I'd be
whip.
like, no, you can eat these.
No, I know, because they will. They'll say, I'll eat 5 more bars and I'll
But
have
also,
5
you know, a
servings.
parent,
Not
like,
the
you're-
same thing.
When you're stressed out and you're packing your kids snacks,
Yeah.
and like my 6-year-old eats well, and my 3-year-old will eat raw spinach. You know, she eats
Yeah.
healthy, but when she wants a snack, I feel better about myself that I have all these healthy snacks.
Yeah.
You know, I do the bunnies and do all these things.
Yeah.
So I feel better. So it's like, well, it has the vegetables in it, so it's not so. I mean, it's
I know.
better
You
than
need
the
to do that
alternative,
too.
right?
No.
So you do what you can.
Don't feel guilty.
Don't
Give
feel
them-
guilty.
give
Do
them
what
the
you
good
can.
stuff.
And if you need help, then go to sproutrate.com.
Thanks.
You can catch Lianne on 1010
Yeah, News Talk 1010 every
with
Friday.
Jerry Adler.
And then also Sprout Right's Facebook page. I was just on BT, Breakfast Television Toronto on Monday, so I post all of those kind of things on there. Sign up for a newsletter as well. And for the young ones, you can check out the New Readers Club too. So thanks so
and
much for
hopefully
having me
you'll start contributing some articles for our pink and blue fans
course,
out there.
of course.
Thank you so much for tuning
Thanks.
in, Leanne. Thank you so
Happy
much for
summer,
being here.
happy healthy summer.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Take care.
Happy snacking.